what you get. Goddamn, that is what you get.
Good Lord, what is going on? Okay, now my mic is get. What is happening, bro? OBS gets an update and I guess just completely loses its mind. Well, now that you guys can hear me and see me, how is everybody doing here today, man? How is it going for another edition of the news, man? This is episode 250. I got the unscripted numbers all mixed up. 278.
There you go.
278 of the news is 250 something of unscripted. But but how's everybody doing? Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today on this edition of the news. This is episode 278. And how's everybody doing here today, man, on your Friday afternoon for an episode of the news, man? And thank you guys again, as always, for joining us. If this is your first time watching, you guys do not know the show works every Monday, every Tuesday. Every Tuesday we are live directly after. See, this is just what is going on. We're not. We're live every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Central with Unscripted, the night after Monday Night Raw. And for anybody new, I'm used to saying immediately after Monday Night Raw. Give me a break. It's been 5 years. I need like a solid.
Or
I need. I,
5 years.
I need like a solid year to get that down, and then after that, you guys can start. And then you guys can get on my ass, bro. But anyways, Tuesday at 12 p.m. Central, we are live with Unscripted. Where we talk the week of wrestling, man. Dynamite, SmackDown, Raw, whatever you guys want to talk about on Unscripted, we talk about there. And Friday at 3 p.m. Central, we are on here with the news. So, with that being said, if you guys did miss Monday's episode of Unscripted, what is the long game for Seth Rollins and his World Heavyweight Championship title reign? You guys can now watch that on all platforms. That is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to see it first, join us right here live every single Monday, like Tuesday. Good Lord. Tuesday at 12 p.m. Central with Unscripted. So, with that, if you guys also have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now find this live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. A link is at the top of the description of this very video, man, where you can get this beautiful piece of Notorious Heels merch live as we speak, man. So, with that being said, if this is your first time watching, guys, do not know who we are here at NHP. I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man, Sir K here. How are you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm doing good.
Oh,
Just been chilling out,
wait.
man.
Hold on. I
Hey,
just
there
tweaked.
you go.
Sir K, what I meant to say is, can you please tell everybody what you're smiling about this evening?
That, like always, cannot do. Unfortunately, man. But other than that, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good, and everything's been good, man. Just waiting for these pay-per-view weekends, like always. Waiting for more personal life stuff to happen. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I'm doing really good right now. Doing really good. Just been chilling. Literally just checking Twitter with WWE news every day, and just getting sadder and sadder when it comes to the path of this company. But overall, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Like Durante always asks, "How's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing?" In the live chat. How's everyone doing watching the replay? What about you, bro? How are you doing?
I am doing pretty good. Man. Yeah, honestly, man, a lot like you, just chilling, bro, just chilling, yeah, like you said, bro, just um waiting for these pay-per-view weekends, waiting for some family stuff we got coming up, man. But sooner rather than later, I have to start another hunt, and sooner maybe today. We will see. But so WWE released a WWE, they released a WWE or a WrestleMania shop exclusive. The last time is now John Cena. Let's just say I am so glad I did not end up buying that thing for like $80 at resale price, because I guess now they're flooding into Walmart. Um, so
Um,
so the last time could be now, even though we got a lot of the last time is now John Cena's coming out, bro. We got the Royal Rumble
oh
one
yeah.
in the blue. We got that just absolutely just stunning Toronto elimination chamber moment. To a great heel turn. That whole figure is going to be coming out. I think that one's an Ultimate Edition. I'm really excited for that one. Um, so we got a bunch coming out, but the one that was the Mania exclusive, the one that's in Walmart, the last time is now is the Money in the Bank gear from last year. So the red, when he announced his retirement, the red gear, the red and blue farewell tour gear. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that. But with that, with that being said, yeah, so we got that to look forward to. So excited for, just excited for the hunt. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully it goes in my fucking favor. But what else? Yeah, just family business coming up soon, bro. So that's fun. And then pay-per-views, bro. What do you know? We don't get a break. Pay-per-views coming up. We got about 3 weeks, which in today's day and age that's where it's at,
Yeah.
bro. That's where it's at. That's the most we get. Is a 3 week break from one of these companies doing a pay-per-view. So next up, we got Forbidden Door. Immediately after that, Clash in Paris, man. So we actually have news on Clash in Paris. But other than that, I'm doing good. As Durant always asks, I am good. Family's good. He's not here yet, but it was my guy's birthday yesterday, August 7th. It was Durante's birthday, which obviously we were not live. We were gonna, but we'll get back to that in just a second. As you can see at the bottom of your screen, man. Again, I don't think he's here yet, but happy birthday to my guy, Durante, bro. Um, bro, I don't even know. I don't even know how long you've been tapped in with us, bro, but and I mean that, and I mean that in a good way. I mean that in a good way, because it's been a long time. It had to have been about 2021 or even 2020.
Man.
Um, he's been tapped in with us, bro. It's been 4 or 5 years, one or two. I want to say 2021, but it's been so long. He's been tapped in with us, always coming in. Always coming in, making everybody laugh in the chat, bro. Always being a great source of, of jokes for sure. And always being a great mod. Love you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you, man. I know these days I usually don't catch an AEW Dynamite live, but I always do see you tweeting at me some stupid shit that's going on, that's going on the show, and I always appreciate your tweets. So again, even though I do not respond to all of them, again, 9 times out of 10 it's because I'm not watching the show live. The Hence why we don't do unscripted on Monday anymore. Wrestling is harder to watch live. Typically, I watch it, you know, 3 hours, 4 hours after the show does air. So, like, I do get to the show pretty soon after, just not able to watch it live. But I do see your tweets. I do see your tweets, man. I appreciate you, and I hope you had a great birthday. Like I said, his birthday was yesterday. It was August 7th. So, and if he does pop up in chat, make sure to wish Durante a happy birthday, man, or a happy belated birthday. Hope you had a great day, brother, and thank you for staying tapped in with us for 4 years, bro, and we appreciate you, man. We appreciate what you do for the chat and the culture of what we built here at NHP, man. So, happy belated birthday to the GOAT, Durante, bro.
Truly, man. Truly. Happy birthday. Thank you. Always being here from basically the beginning, dude. And staying with us, man. Staying with us. Thank you so much. Always love having you in chat. Always love seeing your tweets. Like you said about Dynamite and about this, about reading the news, about Tony Khan and this. It's always so fucking hilarious, dude. Truly, thank you for always keeping up with us, man. Thank you so much. Hope your birthday was great, man. Happy birthday.
Yes, sir. So as Durante always asks, I'm good. Family's good. What about you? Durante, Logan, Bell, Jack, Gotti, any of my guys that are here in the live chat, and my guys in the Replay Mafia, JT and JB. Thank you guys so very much for joining us as always. Like I said, whether you're here now or in the live chat, man, we appreciate you guys. And so, NHP Gaming. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I'm I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys, man. I am an absolute dork, okay? I am an absolute dork. Hence the colorful John Cena shirt. If you can't already tell, I am a dork. And dude, I felt like such an idiot, bro. So I get home pretty late Wednesday morning,
Hmm.
technically. So I'm watching, watching Dynamite. I'm watching Dynamite, and while I'm doing that, I'm setting the stream up. I'm setting the gaming stream up, and I'm like, I'm gonna have my P's and Q's all set up, all lined up, right? Put in my capture card, set everything up so it can be as easy as possible come noon, right? And the one fucking thing I forgot to do is such an amateur move, bro. It's such an amateur move. The one thing I fucking forget to do is fucking update Call of Duty. Which, I guess to my credit a little bit, it's not an excuse, but to my credit a little bit. Anytime I've had to update Call of Duty day of stream, it's 20 minutes at most, 25. Like, typically, they're pretty quick. With my fucking luck, this update is at like 140 minutes, or it was like 180 minutes left, and I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So then it starts moving a little quick, slows down at about 90, and I was like, you son of a bitch. And eventually I kept fucking with it enough to get it down to like 60. But at that point, it was like 12:30, and I was like, "This just time wise is not going to work. Is not going to work." So, hey, man, I apologize. God, I felt like such an idiot all day, but I do apologize, man. It was such a fucking amateur move. It was literally the most amateur of amateur moves to make, and I made it. Of course, I fucking made it. So I apologize, man. I was actually really looking forward to hopping on here and just chatting with you guys about whatever you guys wanted to talk about, man. So that sucked. That sucked pretty hard, bro. But with that being said, there is a light at the end of the tunnel because NHP Gaming, The Reckoning, Call of Duty will be rescheduled to tomorrow, Saturday morning at 12 p.m. Central. So we're going to be on here, man, again, chatting, talking about whatever, playing this new Zombies map. And, man, again, I really apologize, man. It was such an amateur move on my part, bro. But we will be live tomorrow with NHP Gaming. You guys can hop in chat, ask us questions, whatever you want, video games, wrestling, sports, whatever, literally whatever you guys want to talk about, man, go ahead. And we will be there tomorrow at noon. So I'm excited for that. And again, I really apologize, man, for what happened yesterday with the gaming stream.
Really, man. Oh, Durante. Happy
There he
birthday, man.
is.
How you doing? What's up, bro? Hope you had a great birthday, dude. And yeah, tomorrow I'm very excited for Reckoning gaming stream. I played a little bit of the map last night to get myself a little antiquated with the map. Like it a lot. Very harder than I thought it was gonna be, but it's good, man. It's good. I like it. So I'm excited for tomorrow. Love getting on the gaming stream, just talking about anything, man. gaming this, some wrestling that, movies this, whatever it may
Yep.
be. It's always a great time, dude. So I'm very excited for tomorrow. Um, as for Thursday, I mean, stuff happens. That was a very mad. My game didn't finish updating till like 11:50, right before the stream would have been. So I don't blame you, dude. It was a massive update. It was like 30 gigabytes or something.
40.
40.
Or no,
God
you're right. It
damn.
was 30. It was 30. It was 30. I was thinking
Okay,
of
yeah, I thought.
I was thinking of Mafia. My bad. That one's 40 gigabytes. My bad. Yeah, it was. I want to say it was about like 27 gigs. And I was
It was
like,
like, yeah, it was
God.
like 27 or 28. Man, it was massive, dude. So excited for tomorrow. Very pumped, dude. I cannot wait, man. And as for Durante, man, how you doing, man? Hope your birthday was great.
Yes, sir. We just spoke about it, man. We just spoke about it. But happy belated birthday, brother. I know your birthday was yesterday. Hope you had a great day, dude. And you're the man. You're the man, bro. We appreciate you. So with that being said, speaking of that, Mafia the Old Country is out. I wasn't gonna get it. I wasn't gonna get it because I heard it was short. But then I remembered I had some money in my PlayStation wallet from a Christmas gift card. And I was like, you know what? 15-hour game. I was like, I'll pay $30. I didn't know if it was worth 50. Because especially because it was that short. Typically with those shorter games, I'll just wait till they go on sale. But I did get Mafia the Old
Oh, that's
Country.
explain.
Yes, I did get Mafia the Old Country, and I'm very excited, man. Hopefully, not hopefully, I will be playing it tonight. So, I'm excited, bro. I'm excited to see what they got in store, man, because um the definitive edition was like the last one that they released, and they got a big they got a big they got some big hype to live up to, bro. So we'll see. However, regardless, news. Let's finally get to the wrestling news. Um, man, our wish came true.
Lord.
For the first time in a fucking long time, there is actually a lot of news to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, a lot of or not a lot of good things to talk about. Actually, a lot of bad things, but a lot of things to talk about, and that's good, man. I'm excited.
We'll start with this, man. I don't I don't know what they got going on, but some of these stories just gives me the vibe that I don't know, WWE might get a bit too odd one day. Um
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the first story we're going to talk about is actually the least odd of all of them because the first story we're going to talk about is WWE and their new media streaming rights deal. It broke 2 days ago, so this would be Wednesday. According to TKO themselves, Disney is paying 1.6 billion for WWE streaming rights. The 5-year deal will begin in 2026, and it includes the U.S. streaming rights to WWE PLE events. It will air on ESPN and will see the Disney-owned company pay $325 million per year for the broadcast rights. WWE PLE offerings are set to debut on ESPN streaming service, which is planned to launch later this year and will cost $29.99 a month. Okay, first things first, I'll say $29.99 a month obviously isn't great. I thought it would be worse.
I did. I did think it was going to be worse too.
I will give them that. I thought it would be worse. I really, really did. So Nick Khan recently spoke on an interview. Let me see who this is with. Okay. Yes, it was on The Varsity. Nick Khan spoke about during a conversation with John Orand on the Varsity podcast. WWE President Nick Khan confirmed that ESPN's upcoming direct-to-consumer streaming service will include 10 WWE Premium Live events each year at no additional cost. Once fans subscribe to ESPN's platform, they will have full access to events like the Royal Rumble, Survivor Series without paying a separate pay-per-view fee. He says, in 2014, this is far before I joined, we went off traditional pay-per-view we went off traditional pay-per-view and onto its own service, the WWE Network, which was $9.99 a month. There was no upcharge for pay-per-views like WrestleMania anymore. When we did the Peacock deal in 2020, same thing, no upcharge for what were pay-per-views. Same thing here, and that has been referred to as ESPN Flagship. You subscribe to the product, you get WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, all the other premium live events with no upcharge. This confirmation comes as ESPN prepares to take over the U.S. streaming for WWE's premium live events, a major pivot from the current Peacock deal. For fans, this means a single subscription will cost over the biggest WWE premium live events each year. Something Khan believes keeps the experience accessible while pushing WWE to new audiences through ESPN's platforms. He says, here we are now today with Disney. It's a new frontier for us. We're excited about it. Obviously, between Mark Shapiro, Ari Emanuel, myself, Triple H, we have extensive history with Disney. We keep extremely positive history with Disney, and the opportunity to take WWE here, we think, will broaden the horizons and broaden the viewership with all our fans and new fans incoming. With WWE's move to ESPN, WWE is betting on combining its global fan bases with Disney's powerhouse streaming presence, but without passing any extra cost for the fans who love the content the most. Again, $29.99 isn't great. Gone are the days of our $9.99 for WWE Network. Gone are the days of our $13.99 for Peacock, which we'll get to that in just a second. We're up to $29.99 a month, but again, I genuinely thought it would be in the ballpark of $29.99 a month plus paying the additional for the pay-per-view. I thought we were going to be somewhere in that ballpark, but what I will say, this could have been a whole fucking lot worse. I'll say that. Again, obviously, like I said, it is what it is. Obviously, the upcharge from Peacock, from WWE Network to Peacock to ESPN here, it's obviously an increase, but at least we do not have to pay additional for the pay-per-views. At least they did not thoroughly copy that UFC model, because to me, that was the move I was expecting, and that was the move that I was going to be very, very, very upset with. And notice he says 10 premium live events. I believe now we're at like 14 if you count, or it's got to be around like 12 or 13, maybe 14 with the two Saudi shows. I think we're around that ballpark. So it says they're going down to 10. So hopefully, and Triple H spoke a little bit about this, about kind of like how the pay-per-views are going to be a bigger spectacle than ever. Hopefully that means they're gonna do less pay-per-views, but make them a little bit longer. And hopefully that doesn't mean Tony Khan long, but hopefully it just means, 6-7 match cards every time. But again, less pay-per-views a year. I think that's the way to go, to be honest.
Exactly, man. Hopefully 6, 7 matches and not the Tony Khan 6, 7 hours. But it is very interesting because I think another part in like the 10 pay-per-views they said,
Hmm.
the only 2 night pay-per-views at least next year are WrestleMania and SummerSlam. Because I know there's rumors about them wanting to do more, but at least next year so far it's confirmed that those two are going to be the only 2 night pay-per-views at least next year. So it's very interesting, man. Very because they also counted each night of those shows as its own event. So about 4 of those are just for Mania and just for um, SummerSlam. I think that's the way they were talking about it. It's very interesting. I hope, like you said, that does mean that there are less pay-per-views, but just a little bit longer pay-per-views. I think that's the better system. Um, and like you said, I thought it was going to be way worse. I thought it was going to be that $30 a month plus paying for these pay-per-views anywhere from an extra 20 to fucking $50 a year, dude. So or a month or each pay-per-view, man. So I was very nervous. So again, it's not as bad as I thought, but I mean, everybody misses the days of, less streaming networks at usually about a $10 price. um, we just had the network, and at that time, you probably just had Netflix and maybe Hulu. Were really the only ones that existed. And now everybody has their own streaming platform that is slowly being bought by Disney. So we'll see how it goes, man. We'll see how it goes. I'm very interested to see how they produce the pay-per-views. I hope they really don't over-produce the pay-per-views because that's nothing I wouldn't be shocked that they try to do. So hopefully they make them a little longer with hopefully a little less fluff. And I would be overall okay with that. But I know a lot of fans are not happy about this. And for a lot of fans, I understand why, man, because this is only an American thing. If you're anywhere but America, everything is still going to be on Netflix for you. So I don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So that is the news on WWE, or should I say WWE ESPN. So they are going over to ESPN for pay-per-views next year. When does this start, you may ask? Well, so according to the Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer, he states that the first pay-per-view to air on ESPN will be WrestleMania 42, which will emanate from Las Vegas on April 18th and April 19th, and NBC Universal, and then what? NBC? What the fuck is he talking about? NBC? Do they own ESPN?
See,
I was like,
NBC. Unless they're just talking about Comcast owns NBC. Maybe they're just talking about Saturday Night's Main Event when they mention NBC.
must be. Well, regardless, according to Uncle Dave,
It
WrestleMania
is Uncle Dave.
WrestleMania 42 will emanate from yes, it will emanate from Las Vegas, but WrestleMania 42 will be the very first time we will get to see ESPN and their whole streaming of WWE come into play, man. So, we're talking about WWE, man, but where does this leave NXT? Well, according to Lightshed, a home for the domestic rights to WWE's library that currently sits on Peacock has not been decided yet for 2026 and onward. Netflix is the likely home for the library. NXT premium live events are also excluded in the ESPN deal and will be up for bidding. So NXT is not going over to ESPN, and it will be strictly main roster. And this is another thing that also doesn't shock me, where a lot of streaming platforms nowadays, they do this kind of thing where, like, if you want this season, you got to go to Hulu, and then the other seasons on Disney Plus, and the other seasons on fucking Pluto, and then the other season is on, HBO Max, where it kind of looks like this is gonna be the same thing going on here, where NXT pay-per-views are not excluded, neither is the archive, the library, right? That's not that both of those have not been decided. And it would not shock me. It would not shock me if NXT Premium Live events were to go somewhere else completely, completely different. I would not be shocked at that. As for the archives, it says the likely home is Netflix. Hopefully, because again, a lot of wrestling fans will already have that. And hopefully, the NXT Premium Live events will go to a Hulu, or they will go to a Disney Plus, because a lot of people do get Disney, Hulu, and ESPN Plus all on the same thing, because they're all one. They're all one entity that people pay for. Some people even get it included with their like TV provider. So hopefully it goes somewhere like that. Hopefully it doesn't go somewhere completely random to the point where people got to go in all these different streaming platforms just to watch, a certain thing. So hopefully, like I said, the archives will go to Netflix, because a lot of people already have Netflix for Monday Night Raw. Um, so yeah, but NXT is up for the bidding.
Very, very interesting, man. And dude, I always talk about like how they really do not do their developmental any favors, and that is another thing that's no different for me because, part of you would think, developmental. That's not something many people are wanting to see, if that makes sense. That's something that to most casual fans won't know about it unless they see it. So not having it with the main roster things, I think is kind of another disservice they're doing to their to developmental, because usually you'll see, you open Peacock, it'll be a pay-per-view weekend, you see the big pay-per-view, and then right next to it you'll see the selection for the NXT pay-per-view. So more casual people will be like, oh, what's this? Oh, this is their developmental. Let me peek at it. You won't get that anymore because it's gonna be something you basically have to know to find, and it's just another thing with the AEW counter programming with NXT, and now doing this. They really are not doing their developmental any favors with this, man. I really hope they started treating them better, man. But they really don't care about their developmental, man. In terms of at least an audience watching them and getting used to them, man. They really do not care, I guess. Um, so I hope NXT also goes to Netflix because at least that's a place where
Yep.
people know about it. Because I feel with them just saying we're putting it up for bidding, I feel like it's gonna go to the most random platform on earth, man. And I really wouldn't be shocked at that because if you want the archive, you got to go to Netflix. If you want the pay-per-views, you got to go to ESPN. If you want to watch NXT, you got to go to this whole other one. I wouldn't be shocked if that's gonna be the end game there. Um, and I hope the discography goes over to Netflix. I think that would be a very simple thing. I really hope so. And I think that's the one detriment about like the modern version era of streaming. Like you said, one season's on one, the next season of something's on another. You have to just look it up to know what you're trying to look for, dude. For a lot of people, if you got to do that much work, they're not going to look for it, man. So
Hmm.
I really hope that it gets landed on Netflix, and I hope we get everything instantly because they got rid of a lot of stuff. Granted, I'm not one personally that's going to go back and watch random WCW pay-per-view number 13, on the network or what would have been on Peacock, but people do. So I really hope that they take all of their fucking old stuff and put it on a platform.
100%. if they are going to do if they are going to do a completely different platform for NXT, I honestly think your best bet is one of those platforms that are like free. You know,
Yeah,
I,
like a Pluto or
I
something.
that's what I was thinking, like a Pluto or like something like that, where because like you said, if they go ahead and put it, I know it's not gonna go here, but like for example, let's say NXT is gonna go to HBO Max. A WWE fan that that does not have HBO Max probably isn't gonna buy HBO Max for NXT because again, like you said, if you're looking at if you're looking at if you're looking at it from like a counter programming perspective, 9 times out of 10 people will be like, oh well, I already have Peacock, so like let me go here. A lot of people I highly doubt are going to be like, well, I need to get a subscription service for the fucking NXT pay-per-view. It's just not, people just aren't
It's not
pe-
gonna happen.
people just aren't gonna do that. I mean, of course you're gonna get some people that are diehard NXT fans for some odd reason, and they're gonna want to go on there. You're gonna want to go on there to watch it because you have nothing better to do. But like a lot of people aren't gonna, like I said, if they were to go to like something completely different, like a HBO Max or a Prime Video or something like that, something that's completely separate from everything, people aren't going to pay a whole subscription just for NXT. So I think their best bet is having it go on Hulu, Disney, or Netflix because somehow, some way, all those are intertwined with your ESPNs or your WWE, where most fans are going to have that service anyway because WWE is on that type of thing, which, like I said, Hulu or Disney, a lot of people get those because they're all lumped in with ESPN. And then obviously Netflix for Raw. So like I think that's your best bet. Um yeah, other either that or do one of those subscription services like Pluto that's free. You know what I mean? So but yeah, a lot of people just the cold hard truth, man, is a lot of people are not going to pay extra for NXT. It should be NXT is damn near like a bonus for you paying for the main
Mhm.
roster products because you get done, or like even like what we do for WrestleMania weekend. It's like, while we're waiting for Mania to come on, like, all right, let's just throw NXT on. Just let it's better than watching a fucking a pre-show where they just talk about random shit. Let's just go ahead and just peek at what happened. We'll throw NXT on in the background. Do you honestly think I'm gonna be like, hey man, in order to watch NXT, let me fucking sign up for this subscription service so we can peek at it before Mania?
No one's doing that. Like Logan mentioned in the comments, he says he's probably gonna be cutting off NXT at that point because why is anybody gonna pay extra money to go watch NXT? Like you said, it's a bonus. It really is a bonus to what you're getting for when you pay for WWE. And I think they need to be that like side bonus that when you're looking at the main roster pay-per-view, you see the NXT one next to it. I think you need to do that with NXT, and I think they're gonna realize that after when it's disconnected.
100%. So, speaking of SmackDown, according to CNBC, SmackDown in the United States will continue to air on USA Network and stream on Peacock till 2029. So that is obviously when their 5-year deal is up. And see what I mean? You want Raw? You
Like,
gotta go to Netflix. You want SmackDown? Well, you could catch it on USA Network, and then after the show, you can catch it because we stream it on Peacock. You want premium live events? You go to ESPN. This is pretty much like WWE's cop out for, not making us pay additional for pay-per-views. Instead, you're making us subscribe to which I don't I have no use to like stream SmackDown afterwards. I just have YouTube TV for that. So like that's usually where I watch my Dynamite and my, you know, uh SmackDown. So I this means pretty much nothing to me, but like for somebody I guess that would for somebody that would, you know, watch SmackDown afterwards or want to catch SmackDown afterwards, you will have to keep Peacock, man, I guess if you want. But yeah, I mean that is that. But yeah, again, see what I mean with the, you know, they want you to subscribe to, you know, 13 different platforms to get all their content. But yeah, if you want I guess SmackDown and the reruns of SmackDown afterwards, they still will be available on Peacock. So I guess, you know, wherever they end up going for their media is not going to get the SmackDown replays. So yeah.
No, exactly, which, really shows, how much they love SmackDown. It's very obvious that Raw is their flagship brand, and they'll let you know
You
without even
know,
telling you that Raw is their brand.
100, to be honest, bro, I feel like I feel like they feel they made such a mistake with like re-upping SmackDown on cable television for that long. I really
I think
feel
they
I
regret.
100% because they got 5 years, and you know, as soon as those 5 years are up, they are running. I mean, they are running so fast to bring SmackDown to some type of streaming platform. But I feel they do regret it. I feel they do regret, you know, keeping SmackDown on cable. I think they only kept it on cable in case the whole Netflix thing, in case they didn't end up, you know, liking, you know, being streamed rather than being on cable television. So I feel like there might be a little regret there for sure.
Definitely, dude. Most definitely. I get that. Most definitely. I think like you said, they kept it just in case. But now, they're like, damn, this one show is fucking stuck on cable for the next three,
Yep.
4 years. So we're gonna have to figure something out, man. So I definitely understand that. I get that.
So Peacock. Speaking of Peacock, they will be increasing subscription prices. So, premium is increasing from $7.99 to $10.99. Premium Plus, which is the one that I have, yeah, the one, yes, this is, will be increasing from $13.99 to $16.99 a month, and premium annual will go from $79.99 to $109.99, and premium plus annual will be increasing from $139.99 to $169.99. So for your annuals, you're getting about a $30 increase, and for your monthly, you're getting about a $3 increase. So I guess this is Peacock, I guess, upping their monthly and annual prices for what they provide, man. So I guess for us WWE subscribers, this was the final fuck you for the
Oh yeah.
final. Well, I mean, we're less than a year away
Final
from the
stretch.
So so
Exactly.
yeah.
It's literally said, "Oh yeah, enjoy these last 7 months. Pay fucking $3 more fucking month."
So
And
so it, to
every
be to be honest, man, when I seen the 17, I was like, well, I'm paying 17. Well, because when I seen when I seen 29.99 a month, I was like, okay, there is, we're obviously going to be having to pay 29.99 a month to watch WWE from here on out. And then I said to myself, you know, is it really that bad? I mean, I'm gonna have to be paying 17. I mean, obviously, it's an extra $13, but like, 17.99 is, again, it's not 9.99. So I guess, either way, those days are the days of our 9.99 subscription services are gone and behind us. So, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. That was pretty much all I said to myself was, what are you gonna do? That's that's,
It,
that's what they do
that's what
nowadays.
we're all streaming services are either combining, getting more expensive. One day they're probably all going to combine into one thing, this new magical thing called cable. Never heard of that before. And then probably the streaming thing are going to be slowly restarted with one or two companies, and then every company's going to have their own, and it's just going to be a vicious cycle. We're
Yep.
all looping back. Life's a circle. Wyatt was right, and we're gonna be right at cable again one day.
So, yeah. So that's that, and yeah, so Peacock prices are increasing. If you guys have not checked your email, I know when I got the email, I was like, Jesus. So what do you expect, bro? What do you expect? Like I said, it's the final fuck you in our final stretch of WWE on Peacock. So yeah, that is the news of WWE SPN. So yeah, that is that. And next year, man. Next year. So
fucking, fucking a.
I
Oh,
know.
that mega bill is gonna be so annoying because it's just gonna be fucking video package after video package of we're on ESPN now, bigger, better than ever. Dude, I'm dreading it already, dude.
And next year, do not be shocked if we get Mr. Dwayne Johnson coming out
Oh
there
yeah, shaking,
breaking all the stories, and I mean there is no fucking
pulling the
story at
throat,
this
dude.
point, but yeah, wanting to create and again, I'm not expecting him, but like don't
I
be
wouldn't be
surprised
shocked.
because he did this shit. He did this shit for Netflix. You know what I mean? He comes out there and just randomly comes back and he's gonna tell us that you know he's got something brewing and he's got. Do we smell what he's fucking cooking? Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised because he did it for Netflix. So don't be surprised for ESPN, for him to come back and
Exactly, man.
completely make no sense out of everything for another year. So
And people think now that they advertise like all these UFC and boxing like events so much on WWE programming now. Dude, just wait till they're actually on ESPN every fucking Monday Night Raw. We're gonna have to hear Michael Cole talking about this fucking UFC event that's coming up in a few weeks. Dude, I'm already dreading it. Cause I already know it's what gonna they're every fucking 2 seconds they're promoting that one fight. Whatever the
Canelo
fucking two.
and Terrence
Yeah.
Crawford, I think.
Yep, they promote that fight fucking 2 times a fucking night and on
Yeah.
their programming. Think
I
about
mean,
that, but it's every
listen,
UFC event.
listen to Michael Cole doing his fucking ad reads before every
Oh,
match. He'll be like Liv Morgan and Asuka about to take place. But if you guys have not checked out Sonic's new foot-long hot dog, like what the fuck?
it's like,
What? Talk about the
especially because
match.
the way they do their advertising is so hilarious because they like put their advertising as like a phrase into like the match.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of an example. Like, they'll be like, Liv Morgan, she's not her when she's hungry. Same way you aren't when you aren't eating a Snickers. And it's like, dude, just show the Snickers logo and call it a day, bro. That's all I need to know.
Literally, it's not like they have. It's not like there's like ads on the ring mat or anything like that. So,
It goes global with Mint Mobile. It's like, dude, okay, I fucking get it. Calm down.
we're about to get
Um,
underway with this tag
so
title match. But if you guys need to watch the tag title match on your phone, check out Cricket Wireless. Like what? what? What are we doing, bro?
dude,
There's Cricket Wireless in the middle of the ring. I do not need you to fucking tell me about Cricket fucking Wireless, but you know,
the
man.
worst, dude. It's gonna get, especially if they're actually gonna be on ESPN. We're gonna get football ads. We're gonna get UFC ads. Oh, it's gonna
NBA,
be, oh,
yeah.
it's gonna be so in your face. Hmm.
So with that being said, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is back, obviously, and according to Fightful Select, WWE's legal team signed off on Brock Lesnar's return. The phrasing that WWE's legal team cleared him being used the phrasing that WWE's legal team cleared him being used elsewhere had led to many believing that he was cleared of any wrongdoing or connection in the lawsuit of which he is named but not a defendant. That is not the case. Janelle Grant's legal team expects more could emerge in discovery. This
This is why
also
you don't
goes
bring
along.
people back.
This is all. This is. This all goes along with This all goes along with something Nick Khan said over the weekend, which if there's no criminal conviction, then everything is then he's fine to be brought back. My question to them is, yes,
Okay.
sure, he's not a defendant in the case. But my question to them is, so if there's no conviction and he didn't do anything wrong or whatever, if there's no conviction, then it's fine. Why was he taken out of the video game then?
Yeah. Why didn't 2K and Take Two want nothing to do with Brock Lesnar for that time? Why did
Why? Well,
any advert?
wasn't there a WrestleMania edition of 2K24? Was it? And
Oh yeah,
wasn't he
it's on the
taken off that
cover.
cover? Why is that?
He was taken off removed from the game. I think they even removed like his in-game assets. Like
Mm-hmm.
they deleted him from the game, dude. Everybody did. He was basic. Hey, you remember? I think we watched one of those together. You remember the video of those butchers and they were hanging out with Brock and they were like they like cut up meat together
Yeah.
and Brock gave him like. I saw their channel one day a few weeks ago and I was looking for that video because I was just curious. That channel even at least hid in that YouTube video. I was like, dude, literally everybody just went cold turkey on Brock Lesnar. And I wonder why, man. I wonder if Nick Khan can tell us why. They have this whole mentality about if there's no conviction, I guess then it's okay to have them. Their name's still all over court documents. And the way the legal system works, you could not get convicted and still do something because, loopholes. And I'm sure that's how McMahon's probably going to get away with what he did. Same with Brock. And by Nick Khan saying that, I'm going to tell you guys right now, Vince McMahon will be back in this company in a year or two, if not sooner.
If that is their mentality, I cannot I cannot really I can't
And it's getting,
can you really say that's not a valid opinion? Again, if that's their mentality about the whole thing, I could absolutely see that. I think they would be fucking dumb, obviously, but that's not to say that it's not at least a possibility. But I'm trying to pull up the exact quote here. Let me see.
they're going to say the exact same thing they said with Brock. We called him and said, it's time to come home. It's going to be the whole being home because they love being called home for everybody. They love it from Cena, from Cody, from Brock, and they're going to do it for Vince. WWE love being called home for people, dude. They fucking eat that shit up.
Yes, they do. Let me see. I could have swore I had it.
Hmm. Let's see. What are you looking for again?
The quote he gave about the conviction and
Oh, yes. Let me find it. Fuck. Thought I had it too. Thought I had the full quote.
literally, bro. Oh, I got it. I got it.
Okay.
Okay. He says Nick Khan's attitude as a general rule is that unless there is a criminal conviction, it's not an issue. Again,
An
so
issue.
why? So if it wasn't an issue, all I ask is for somebody to explain why he was deleted from the video game, why he was deleted from the cover of the video game, and
I
then
know. Hmm.
and Triple H, you know, Triple H loves to say that you know he's been on past media scrums talking about Brock, Brock's just at home, Brock's just at home. So I ask, why was the Gunther match for WrestleMania 40 scrapped?
Exactly.
These are
Why
just
was he at home?
these are just simply questions that I want answered. So why?
Why? Exactly. Why? Um, yeah, that mentality is wild to me. I personally, to the level of what he was involved in, I probably wouldn't want Brock around my company, man. But that's just me. That's just me. And WWE, they're fast food. They're gonna get their cheap pop, and that's all they want, dude.
It's just so weird though, man, because when the stuff first came out about Vince, when I tell
They,
you
they
they wipe their hands clean of him so fast,
oh
I
yeah.
can't even describe how fast they I mean that was like the quickest fucking
They
hand wash in history.
They would never show footage of Brock. They would never show footage of Vince. They basically Benoit him right after that happened, and now they just don't care. I don't know why all of a sudden they don't care, dude.
It's just like that's the part to me that I don't understand. It's like you want to go out here and act like nothing happened now. Again, you move along like nothing happened. It's like, so what happened to these past couple years? You guys done basically, like you said, you guys done basically Benoit the man. So like, what happened? Like, why are we acting
Right.
like this is? Why are we acting like nothing happened all of a sudden? It's just odd to me. It's fucking odd to me,
Very
man. It really is. It really is. I don't. I do not. I do not understand. And again, they want to act like they just had nothing for the guy to do. Technically, on paper, there's a lot of
They
shit
had a
Brock
lot.
Lesnar can do. There's a lot of shit I would still love to see him do because he's a great performer. But like, are we disregarding everything? Because like again, you can't sit there and act like there was no creative for the guy to do. You could have put him against Gunther. You could have put him against Bronson Reed. You could have put him against Braun Breaker. You could have you could put Brock Lesnar against Jacob Fatu. And I was saying it on Monday. There is like on paper, it's very interesting for Brock Lesnar to be back. For me, he's a great
Lot
performer,
to do.
and there's a lot for him to do. But it's just odd to me how we're acting like nothing happened. It's just odd, bro. It's just so odd to me. And it's like that I, I don't understand. I don't understand why this company went from treading so lightly to now just stepping all over the eggshells. I don't get it, bro. I
Right.
really I don't get it.
TKO was cautious at first because that's when they first, bought
They were a new
WWE,
company, yeah.
and they were a new company. They didn't know like the value that it was truly going to bring to them. So maybe now they're very overconfident with that value, and they think nothing is going to taint that value. That's something that time's gonna fucking slap them on the ass for. But that's the only thing I could think of is that they didn't want to take any risk when they first bought the company, but now they just don't care, man. But it's very interesting, man. It's very interesting because just like a month ago, fucking Velasquez was talking about how TKO has Brock on their blacklist completely. You
Yes.
can't mention that dude's name at all, and I don't think he would be lying about that. You know what I mean? He doesn't seem the type to just make shit up like that about
Yeah,
Brock of all people.
and like
Mhm.
I know Daniel Cormier is I don't think he's in like a big spot in the company, but like they feature him a lot to the point where I feel like he would know a lot of important people to know some information like that. But
Like the dude's name, he's blacklisted, and then like literally, apparently from the timeline we know, it was a few weeks later where they he was cleared by WWE legal, but we don't know what TK. Dude, it's such a weird system. That is like we hear that TKO legal that cleared him, but like or WWE legal, but TKO had him on a blacklist, but like that, I genuinely can't wait to know in a few years how all this happened.
yeah, it is very interesting, man. But again, it's like, you know, on paper, if you're looking at this excluding all the Vince stuff, it like
Had shit to
again,
do.
you can't tell me there was no creative for the guy for 2 years. So like let's not disregard why he was completely gone. And even like again, even on paper, what he's doing with John Cena, I'm sure is going to be great. I'm sure it's going to be great. It's an old
That black cloud.
it's an old it's an old childhood classic, right? Extreme Rules 2012, Night After Mania 28, right? Um on paper, I'm sure it's going to be cool. I'm sure the match is going to be good, and you know, again, I'm sure everything, I'm sure everything on paper is going to be great. It's just odd to me, man. It just really is odd to me. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense because that was the reason they got rid of Vince. That was the reason they got rid of Vince because the company was too new, and they did not want to, you know,
Risk.
um they did not want to take that kind of risk with the company being so new. Um, I certainly hope they do not bring back Vince because obviously, if you're looking at the case, Vince is obviously he's the star player, right? In those court documents, he's the main guy. So I would like to think that they would not bring him back. I would love to sit here and say there's absolutely no way on the planet they bring him back. Um, so we'll have to wait and
Oh,
see, but we'll have to wait and see because, I guess, like I said, Brock is a side character in that. Not saying what he did is great, but Vince was the main. Obviously, he's the main guy. So again, I really want to believe that they will not bring him back, but at this point, I don't really know what to expect. Again, they brought Brock back. His name's kind of all over that shit. So, um, I I don't even know what to expect anymore at this point. Which, um, they did bring back, like I said, one of the side characters of the court document, though. So, who's to say they will not bring back the main character? I guess, but yeah, I I,
exactly.
I don't know, but their legal team cleared it, and if there's not a criminal conviction, then it is not an issue. Oh, brother.
See how that goes, especially while he's still in it. Um, like I get if it's afterwards, that makes a little more sense, but he's still in it. So imagine you're advertising the Cena match. What happens a few days before if shit in that case drops? What do you do? You know what I mean? Like, what on earth would you
Yep.
do at that point? Uh, it's such a dumbass thing, dude. It's so stupid.
So I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, he wasn't convicted of any wrongdoing. So why has he been gone, bro? Why has he been gone?
He's been gone, man. Why was he removed from 2K? Why was his name listed in like 7 different crimes in that thing, man?
Technically Vince. Technically Vince hasn't been convicted. Do you believe that he wasn't actually involved
Exactly.
with any of that stuff? Do you honestly?
They're, they're, they're rich assholes. They're gonna get away with it, but we know they did it. You know what I mean? It's always one of those situations.
Yeah, for now, man, for now, I do for now I do agree with Logan, man.
That
I
I
just
wouldn't
can't.
be shocked if
Mhm.
I wouldn't be shocked if his return is just an appearance. I don't think he'll actually ever be like a part of the company again, but I mean that as I think they'll be cool with him making an appearance in the future. Like in like the Cena retirement pay-per-view or stuff like that. That I wouldn't be shocked with, but working in the company, I don't think will ever happen again.
Yeah, I can't I can't see it. I really can't see it, man. It's too unthinkable to me. It really is too unthinkable to me. I just can't I really cannot fathom them bringing him back. It's just man, with the amount yeah, with the stuff that we heard, bro, I just mm-mm. There I just really want to believe I really want to believe that they would just never even try to, you know, handle with all that again, but yeah, I don't know. It's odd. It's odd to me and yeah, but there's no criminal conviction, so he's not an
See
issue.
how it goes.
We will
It's
see.
not an issue.
We will see. We will see. But yeah. So with that being said, with that being said, um, one of the guys that Gunther, or no, well, one of the guys that Brock was supposed to face, but the match got scrapped for, you know, oh, nobody knows. Nobody knows what reasons. Nobody knows for what reasons. But Gunther, we have an update on him. Maybe he'll end up getting his Brock match now. Maybe he will be the Brock retirement match. Could you imagine? He retires Goldberg, he retires John Cena, and then he retires Brock Lesnar.
Be a
That'd be
fucking catalog of retirements.
that would be quite the list of names under his belt. However, we have an update on Gunther from Uncle Dave. He says, I was told Gunther's having surgery on his nose. I was told that a couple of days ago. It's very clear from watching the finish that Gunther's having surgery on his nose pretty quick because they shot an angle where, you know, it's like he busted his nose.
I would have never guessed that when he fell on his face and then had blood all over his face. I would have never guessed that was the ankle. Ugh,
Wow. Wow, Dave. Wow.
I couldn't
You
tell it.
yeah, what a smart individual, man. What a smart individual. I you know, Dave, I would have never I would have I would have never thought so. I would have absolutely never thought so. But yeah, they said that, you know, Gunther had some sort of septal something and some sort of eye fracture, orbital fracture or whatever. Playing up his injuries, but it looks like there actually is something wrong with his nose. I think he will be back rather quickly. Nose injuries are you know, fairly
Yes.
nose injuries are fairly you know, quick in terms of recovery time. I think he'll be back. Again, he has a goat to retire, and I think he will be back. I think he'll be back in you know, rather quickly, man. But whatever the case is, whenever they do that draft, I think he will be taken off on Monday Night Raw, especially with the Seth Riders doing their thing over there. There is absolutely no room for him, you know, to be. I mean, what is he going to do on Monday Night Raw? Is he going to fight the Seth Riders? You know what I mean? He'll go over to SmackDown. He'll do his stuff with Cena. I would not doubt if he ended up getting his Brock match eventually. I could very well see that happening. Maybe he gets the Brock match at Mania, and then Jacob Fatu is the one to retire Brock Lesnar. I know I would, you know, again,
With that,
you talk about creative, there's a lot you could do with Brock,
there is
okay?
a
There's a
lot.
lot.
Yeah.
So, maybe Fatu is the retirement match. I that could be a pretty interesting option. Or Braun Breaker is another good option as well. But yeah, as far as Gunther, is concerned, I think he'll be back. Like I said, within no time. Nose injuries are usually not too long for recovery.
Man, nose injuries are never that bad. He'll be back in time to retire the GOAT, and then, he'll be there around Mania, and I really wouldn't be shocked with him facing Brock, dude. I think that might be the Mania plan at this point. Oh, dude, I'm still seeing it, dude. There's so many people want Seth to face Roman and for Roman to win the World Heavyweight title. Oh, man, these
We have news
fans.
on that.
We do. So that's fucking something. But Brock, and not Brock, Gunther will be good. He'll be back in time for December.
Yeah. So that is the update on the Ring General Gunther.
Riders.
They are the Seth Riders. They indeed are the Seth
It's too
Riders.
late.
Logan,
It's too late with the name.
Logan says he played 2 hours into Mafia the Old Country and is pretty good so far. I am very excited. I'm very excited. That is good to hear. I have heard I know a lot of people were freaking out because they uploaded like the requirements to play it on a PC, so a lot of people thought the game was gonna suck or whatever. But then I heard story-wise the writing, the voice acting is very good. I'm excited. I'm very excited for it. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of the franchise, man. Yeah, Brock and Gunther at SummerSlam next year. I could very well see it. Maybe Fatu is the Mania match. Maybe they do something like that. I heard they wanted to put him up against, I heard they wanted to put him in the main event scene. And as far as Mania is concerned, I obviously don't see him slotting into the world title scene at WrestleMania, but I could very well see something with Lesnar for Mania again. So, yeah.
See that? I could definitely another Gunther or not Gunther, another Brock match. I think could be cool. Would be Sammy. I think I would really like that match.
I still want now again. Nobody fucking
And we could-
laugh. I still want my Gargano match. I think those two would
that would be
just
dope.
tear it up, bro. And
Gargano would be
again,
dope.
because we all know, like us NXT heads, we know Johnny Gargano offense and Brock Lesnar working with a smaller guy, bro. We already know.
That would be so fire, dude.
We already know.
It'd be so fucking fire. But I would love a Sammy match in there
Sammy
too.
match would be
kind
very
of
good.
that would fit his journey too, that he's taken into WrestleMania. So I could see that as like a Saudi match. Sammy getting a win in Saudi over Brock. I think that'd be a possible thing. I'd be cool with.
Yes, I would be very cool with that. But yeah, there is, again, creatively, man, there's a lot you could do with Brock, which, like I said, stuff with Cena, Sammy, like you said, would be great. Sammy would be great. And then obviously, like I said, a couple of the names I mentioned: Gunther, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu is one that is really, really, really cool to me. But yeah, so, oh yeah, speaking of that, the video of manager Logan playing some Mafia. Logan, if you want to drop your link in the chat, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. But yeah, if you guys want to check out Logan playing Mafia Old Country, then go hit up his YouTube channel, bro. Go hit up his YouTube channel. So yeah, Gunther. So yeah, that's the news on Gunther and whatnot. Speaking of more injury news, Austin Theory. Austin Theory has been removed from WWE's active roster internally. Theory is now listed in the company's miscellaneous section where injured talents or those with special statuses reside. This is coming from PW Insider and Fightful Select.
Means he's released, dude.
Dude,
fans just know. Look at fans.
We heard the news that Austin Theory was removed from the internal roster. All of a sudden, these wrestling fans are fucking freaking out saying that he got released. Like, bro,
Where are
that
you hearing? Like, what?
where the fuck did you get that from? Like, dude, he was removed from the internal roster. It's not even like it's not even like they took him off the roster page on WWE.com. It's just their internal roster on who they have available. That means, like it
Like,
says in the read the fine print, when you're not on the internal roster, you're either on a leave, like somebody like Otis that we've heard about is who's took time to step away, or you're injured. He's not released.
yeah. Eh, like when Finn came back right before injury, you would hear in the news Finn is back on the internal roster because he's close enough to where they're starting to make plans for him. You hear that anytime someone's returning from injury, like people. If he was released, he wouldn't be in any active or disactive roster. He'd be on the fucking alumni page. You idiot.
Literally. Like, what are we doing, bro? Um,
Like if he's not on the active roster, that means he's still a part of the roster. He's just not active. It's in the name.
yeah. So it looks like his injury is legitimate, and I wish him the best. And man, for the love of God, can we
Use him.
please bring him back as a babyface, dude? I can't tell you how many times I see videos on like TikTok of Austin Theory like meeting some kid,
Oh,
and
he's
he
the
just
nicest
is
dude
the
ever.
perfect baby face. Like, what the fuck are we keeping this guy as a cookie cutter generic heel for? What are we doing?
Nicest dude ever. Anytime you, like you said, you see a video of him interacting with any type of fan, as a babyface, he is hilarious, dude. He's a very fucking charismatic and funny person, but they just make him the most generic fucking heel in the
Dude,
world, dude. So when you bring him back, let him be a fucking babyface for the love of God. It's what you need to do that with him like fucking years ago, and you still didn't. But now, dude, whenever he gets to be back and you bring him back, have him be a babyface for God's sake.
it's like you always hear his own ex tag partner, Grayson Waller. You always hear Grayson Waller on interviews talking about, I don't really care about fans, and like sometimes Austin can annoy me because he wants to be the next John Cena, and he wants to take time to greet fans and take pictures with kids and sign their autographs and do all this type of stuff, and he what the fuck? And again, I see videos of the guy all the time just being the nicest guy to these people. Meanwhile, they have this guy as just a generic, look at my muscles, I'm ripped heel on television. Like, what the fuck?
He's literally the white 2017 Bobby Lashley. It's just look at my muscles. That's all they fucking do for the guy. They have him
Literally,
stand
bro.
there and pose. He is white 2017 Bobby Lashley, and 2017 Bobby Lashley was fucking horrible. Like, come on, man.
I don't I do not understand. I do not understand the mindset behind. He could be a really cool baby face, and I think he could be a very unique baby face. That is again somebody who I don't know. I just I can see him being like a very just a very cool baby face, and not even necessarily like a white meat baby face, but like just somebody who is just very I could see him being very cool in like a role where like he's just very unfiltered, and he likes to like kind of call, kind of how Drew McIntyre is, but imagine that in like a baby face, like somebody who's just very like truthful, young and like wise type of thing going on there. I could see that role being very, very cool. And obviously you can play the young and wise role because of everything. You could play it in the story of like everything he kind of been through as a heel. You know what I mean? He's has all these veterans, tell him he's had all these veterans kind of tell him or kind of try to smarten him up, but he never listened. You know, he was the young and dumb kid. You know what I mean? You could play that into a very cool babyface character for him. And they don't do it. They just have him show his abs and show his fucking biceps and show his muscly back. Like, what are we doing?
Literally, dude, I don't fucking get it, man. And I hope he can come back as babyface because he'd be really good in that role.
So hopefully they get it together. Speaking of getting it together, Karrion Kross. According to Fightful Select, Karrion Kross and Scarlett were not backstage in Brooklyn this past Monday for Raw. Their deals with the company expire this weekend, and a new deal has not been offered to either of them. Now, again, this piece of news came out on early Tuesday morning. I don't know I believe it. I really don't know I believe it. I something just tells me that Karrion Kross has re-signed with WWE, and I don't know I don't know why I'm getting that feeling, bro, but I don't know. It's just, I'll say Kross is talking an awful lot about how there's nothing in place and how he still hasn't been offered a deal, which, if he's telling the truth, that's fucking ridiculous that they just let his shit expire. But I don't know. I just, I hope. I really hope that all of this gets played into a really cool story of him being brought back. And I hope this contract, he actually gets fucking used, because he has showed it to them. He can do it. And he can be somebody on the show that is worth their TV time. So I really, 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 really hope they bring him back, as most of us do. And I don't know, I'm getting the feeling that they will bring him back. And I really hope I'm right, because I really hope that they would not be dumb enough to let Karrion Kross essentially walk to AEW.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. I'm in the same ballpark as you. I think he is resigning, or he already is. I the way like they're all talking about it. You had Paul Heyman kind of praising that dude on an interview. You had, even though he's going out and he's saying, like, in all seriousness, not to get anyone hopes up, I'm not resigning. I don't know. I still just get the vibe that they're playing it up, and that to an extent he is either about to or is already re-signed.
Yeah, but again, I mean, if he is saying not to get people's hopes up and whatnot, they're obviously, do not rule it out that WWE hasn't. Something's just giving me the vibe that, you know, he did resign. But again, do not completely rule it out, man, because WWE has not been out of the ballpark of making stupid decisions. So, but man, again, there is just, I cannot find it in myself to fucking believe that they would be dumb enough to let this guy walk. I really, 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 really hope they would not do something that's stupid. But yeah, we will have to wait and see what ends up happening with Karrion Kross, man. But speaking of waiting to see what is going on with somebody, it seems like we got our answer. For Travis Scott, Paul Heyman, during an interview with Ariel Helwani, basically confirmed that Travis Scott's involvement with WWE fell apart. He also claims he does not know what happened with The Rock. I think that makes all of us, Paul.
Yeah, I don't think anyone fucking knows what happened with The Rock.
Other than pretty much what we already know, I guess, which would be he came back for nothing but a favor, to help
Yeah.
Elimination Chamber perform per WWE Unreal, even though the show was good. It was
I,
very, it was,
I
it was probably the best fucking show they did all year.
it genuinely was, dude. Yeah, and I was even before Rock's involvement. So I don't understand, dude. I don't understand.
So he says it fell apart and we move forward without it. I don't know if he's done any meeting I was involved with that involved Travis Scott. I got along with him fine. I have heard things, or he says, have I heard things? I have. Do I know the accuracy of it? Haven't heard Travis's version of it. I like his music. I like his taste in women. What? He has children. I like his taste in women that he has children with. I wish I was dating one of those sisters. I'm not. He's married to one. He's doing better in his personal life than I am. I don't know what happened with Dwayne Johnson. That's something you should that's something you should have Dwayne come into these beautiful Yahoo studios and answer for himself. Ooh, that seems like a bit of a shot, does it not? Um
That seems like they want him to fucking talk about that shit for once.
he says that's something you should have Dwayne come into these beautiful Yahoo studios and answer for himself. I don't know. Or have Brian Gewirtz come in here and I'm sure he can tell you their side of the story. I don't know.
Oh,
Especially WrestleMania, I had enough on my plate. I wasn't really concerned with what was happening with the John Cena and Cody Rhodes storyline.
there's some animosity there.
Yeah, that was my first time reading the Dwayne part of it. I didn't look at the end of the Travis part. But I don't know what the hell his love life came into play for, but anyways, um that's interesting. That's very interesting. You can definitely tell you could tell the whole time. They can sit there and bullshit you on WWE Unreal. Even on WWE Unreal, there was a part where Triple H is like, "Hey, I don't want you to get physically involved. I was thinking, if you watch a superhero movie, the bad guy don't get physical. It's just his henchmen that get physical. He doesn't get physical until the end of the film." Probably what Triple H meant by that is you will get physical at WrestleMania, without saying it. But we'll have you, because WrestleMania, I guess, would have been the end of the film, because I'm sure he anticipated Rock to show up. And literally, Rock says back to him, "Yeah, but I was thinking something along the lines of like Cena hold his feet, Travis hold his arms, and I'm gonna whip him with the belt." So essentially, you just
Big
told
whip
Triple
to the
H.
belt.
Essentially, you just told him, "Fuck your idea. I'm gonna get physical. I'm gonna hit him." Um. So you could tell
That's right.
again.
I'm doing
You could tell there's some type of animosity, even stemming from Triple H's Hall of Fame ceremony. A lot of people mention that he didn't bring up The Rock. Not at all. One of his greatest rivals. No mention of him whatsoever. There's definitely some animosity there. Paul Heyman, who is very known and has said publicly multiple times he's a Paul Levesque guy, kind of throwing a little bit shade, talking about Dwayne can come in these studios and answer for himself, or have his writer Brian Gewirtz come in here and tell you their side of the story.
definitely some animosity there because if you watch WWE in real, basically what they tell you about that situation is that Rock came in, did whatever he did on that episode of SmackDown, and they had the aftermath to go on right, which he didn't even end up showing up to.
Yep.
So I definitely feel major animosity towards them with that one, and I don't blame them at that point. But Travis. I don't think we're going to be seeing him anytime ever in WWE again, unless it's his music. And that relationship I think here is done.
For the time being, I think so. Um, Now, I don't know, who's to say The Rock doesn't come back because WWE's going to ESPN and he needs to show face so he can, get his PR in, and, stamp his name all over WWE when, things are going great. Who's to say he doesn't bring Travis back with him? Hopefully not. But again, he's higher. He's higher than Paul Heyman. He's higher than Paul Levesque. He's higher. Again, we've heard The Rock say multiple times, Ari Emanuel told me, you own the WWE. So he essentially owns the fucking company. Pretty
Whatever he
much.
wants.
He can literally come in and do whatever he wants. And again, on WWE Unreal, one thing that they told you without telling you was, like Sir K just said, he came in, did his segment, talked about the soul shit, wanting somebody's soul, and pretty much Bruce Pritchard, Triple H, Michael Hayes, and all their writing team, Koski and all those guys had they had to deal with. They talked about, well, we sat on Zoom, we all locked ourselves in a Zoom call at fucking 3 a.m, and we're like, okay, we got to figure out something here.
'Cause
So
they started something that they had to fucking finish, man. Insane.
yeah, definitely some type of animosity there, but it looks like Travis Scott is done in WWE for the time being. Speaking of Travis Scott and somebody that was involved with Travis heavily, the guy he slapped in the face, Cody Rhodes. According to WrestleVotes, there are no plans to turn Cody Rhodes heel anytime in the foreseeable future.
Words.
I believe it. I believe it.
Oh yeah, I believe that so much.
The
Look at
close.
me, or look at SummerSlam.
I was gonna say, if the closest shot we had to seeing it for the time being was SummerSlam. I don't think, especially with him going into, he's probably gonna go into a feud with Drew. Hopefully Drew takes the title, but after that, we're probably going to see Orton turn on him, or we're going to see him beat Drew, or we're going to see him beat Orton. He's just going to go on beating people, building his case for an eventual heel turn one day, but I don't think that day is coming anytime soon. And I really hope WWE does it, man. I really, really hope WWE does it, but I just feel WWE feels they haven't met the requirements yet for him to turn heel, as in, what they're doing on television with him, with him, the animosity, I guess, of people turning on him, and him, kind of doing heelish things, but, being the good guy still, and everybody's going to get fed up and turn on him. And then I feel eventually, after, most of the people of interest, like in Orton, and those kind of people, eventually all turn their back on him. I feel then we can get the wheels moving for what will eventually be his heel turn. But for me, until Orton turns heel on that man, I doubt that, I doubt we will see it anytime before that.
Almost definitely, dude. That ending to SummerSlam was the big. They didn't tease it. They didn't do it. It was literally just generic, happy. Cody Rhodes shaking and hugging and crying. Obviously, with John Cena. So we all know what we're gonna get. We're gonna get Orton turning heel, this person turning heel, all on Cody, and yeah, I think it's also a factor of they don't really have anybody else in that Cody Rhodes babyface role at the moment. Um, and that could replace him. People say like, "Oh, you got Jey Uso." Like, Jey Uso's not to the scale of Cody. So that's what they're looking for, is someone to the scale of a babyface Cody to take that spot. And they don't think they have it. I think they have it in a lot of people. They just don't use it in a lot of people, and that's what they're looking for. And I think that's another big factor in him not turning heel anytime soon.
Yeah, 100%. They are going to absolutely wait for that next guy that can, step up to the plate and be the quarterback, right? Um,
Quarterback, the Boy Scout that we all
yep,
need.
yep, QB1,
Mm-hmm.
Boy Scout 1. Yeah, but
Boy
that is the news. That is the news on Cody Rhodes and his heel turn. I will say they did go with, you know, the rather cookie cutter or safe option for the end of SummerSlam. It was a beautiful visual though. That salute to
It
John
was. It was
Cena.
nice.
It
I
was
like
beautiful.
the look.
It was awesome. It was fucking awesome. The salute and the end to the never seen 17. It was pretty dope. I will say that. But yeah, obviously I want to see it. But again, that's not to say that Cody, you know, sucks as a baby face or anything, man. It's just damn, I feel he could play such a good heel. Um
Do it so fucking good, and we're gonna have to keep waiting, man.
so speaking of SummerSlam, Damian Priest. I don't even know why the fuck this is in the news, to be honest. I'm so sick of hearing stories about this with this guy. Sources spoken
Yeah,
to within WWE expected Damian Priest to have a bigger role at SummerSlam,
thank
especially
God he
after
didn't.
working through many injuries during the McIntyre feud.
What about McIntyre, who worked injuries during the McIntyre feud?
McIntyre
He got
worked
the solo.
injuries through the Punk shit last year.
Yeah,
And the Damian Priest shit last year when they were fighting for the world
yeah,
title.
yeah, they were fighting. But goddamn, I literally already forgot about that. But
Oh boy.
like, dude, how are you? How are both people doing one thing, and then you just look at the one dude doing it, and you're like, yeah, we got to reward this guy for this. Like, what?
You know who I expected to have a bigger role at SummerSlam? Aleister Black, LA Knight, Andrade. Oh wait, no, Andrade was on SummerSlam. My bad. He did it. He did it. Never mind. Penta. Um, God. Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? I think it's about it. But you get the point, right? Why? Why do we always hear stories where people like are obsessed with the idea of the company rewarding him, or or they feel he should be rewarded? What is so special about this guy? I mean, what he got a match, you know, he got a match the weekend of the event. Good enough. That was all. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, I it's just this to me is another element of Damian Priest that just makes just the character
I
so
like him.
unlikable. Is
Yeah.
we just constantly, it's just constant company glaze. Like for what? Like what was he doing over the summer that warranted him such a spot on SummerSlam?
Literally just the most the corporate likes him guy ever, dude. And that's just another thing, like you said, that just rubs me the wrong way about his character, man. Because on his character is this like cool, tough guy that never had anything, and now he's here doing this. But like literally every story you read about it, it's corporate going out of their way to like him more than others and prop him up more than others that are ahead of him. It's I can't I can't just I can't enjoy this dude on television because of a lot of that type of stuff. It's 2017 Roman. It's one of those things where it's just he's just cherry picked ahead of everybody else for no real reason.
Yeah, we always hear some just stupid stuff
Stupid
around
shit.
Damian Priest, bro. Like, I don't
He's not
understand what they
special.
see in him.
I really don't. He's decent. He's a decent mid carder.
Yeah,
That's about it. That's about it. He's not a main eventer, dude. But they act like he's fucking LA Knight, and they don't act like LA Knight is LA Knight. It just rubs me the wrong way.
they legitimately act like this guy gets LA Knight pops every week, bro. I mean, it is ridiculous how much they just constantly try to glaze him, and everybody, it wants him to have this big role and like all these big roles and stuff. Like, dude, this dude does not have the sauce, bro. Like, what do they see that I don't?
I would really love to know what they see because I don't see much of anything special.
I don't know. To me, he's already just to me, he already seems like Jack Swagger. I mean, I used to call him Puerto Rican Jack Swagger, but like, you know how Jack Swagger lost the world heavyweight title, and then like a year later, you're like, man, isn't it crazy that guy held the world title? That's how I feel about Damian Priest. Like, I look at him and I'm like I look at him nowadays and I think to myself, man, to think that this dude like a year ago was in the main event scene
They
is
they
so
they
odd.
they had that man bitch around Gunther, dude.
Oh,
Like, come on.
God. I don't know. He's washed up. He's a has-been. Get him out.
Already.
I don't know what to
Exactly.
say.
No value.
But yeah, Damian Priest, many in the company were shocked and expected a bigger role for him. I've been expecting a bigger role for LA Knight for fucking 2 years now? 2.5 years?
No,
Talk about
nothing. They purposely
3 years.
left him off SummerSlam with a fake injury to somebody else.
Good Lord. Good Lord. Yeah. So that is the news for Damian Priest. And now, man, jumping over to some NXT, as we have NXT Europe. According to Uncle Dave, within WWE, talk of NXT Europe is reportedly non-existent.
No way.
Bro, me and you have literally said this from the fucking announcement of NXT Europe, which was like, when did they shut down NXT UK? 2021, maybe?
In like 4 years they've been talking about this fucking thing.
Yes.
Every year they're, oh, it's gonna happen. It's still around. It's still good, and it's not gonna happen. And I hope it doesn't.
You want NXT Europe. You want AAA to damn near be NXT Mexico. You got NXT in Florida. I'm sorry. We do not need NXT Europe, bro. We just don't. If they're good enough, just bring them to regular NXT. If they're not good enough, just let them work the UK indies until you deem they're good enough. Simple as that.
Literally
Yeah.
as simple as that, man.
Yeah, but yeah, that is the update on NXT Europe and the non-existent talks going on around it. Speaking of NXT, a current NXT superstar that is loved by pretty much everybody, Sol Ruka. According to WrestleVotes, there are several with direct influence on the main roster that love Sol Ruka and think the world of her potential. There is a growing sense internally that a call up to the main roster is coming. Hey man, Sol Ruka, as far as NXT's women's division, is currently one of my favorites, and I cannot wait to see her on the main roster, and I love to hear that they think that she's got a lot of potential. That is great to hear. I think she would fit fantastically on the main roster. You put her in either division, I think she's easily an IC or a US champ with the potential of eventually moving her up to the women's world championship scenes. 100% there. I think she absolutely has the potential, like I said, to grow into a world champion on the main roster one day. But day one, easily women's IC or US champ. No question about it. I think she has a lot of potential. She's athletic as fuck, and she is just so fun to watch in the ring, man. And again, I think she's got a lot of potential, man, for the future and to be a future piece of what WWE's building in their women's division.
Definitely, man. Most definitely. I'm glad they're high on her. A lot of people love her. She's fucking amazing, dude. Incredible in the ring. Has very like unique look. That like surfer look I think is very cool and
Yep.
stands out very much. And she's really great, man. I like you said. She's an instant IC US champion. She goes up there with all the potential to develop into a world champion. I'm down to bring her up, man. Especially if you bring her up, you constantly use her, she'll get even better, and then she'll grow as a character even more to main event status, man. So that's great. Very glad they're high on her. And that's very good to hear, man. I cannot wait to see her call up. Probably, I wouldn't be shocked in a few months, or like even like Rumble, I wouldn't be shocked.
I could see that. To me, it all depends on how stingy Shawn Michaels wants to be. Um,
That is true. That is
because
true.
we all know he's got a hard time letting go of a lot of people. So
He's
if I,
winning.
if I were to give a realistic guess, I will say she's in the Rumble, debuts after Mania. I
I
think
could see that. I could see that.
either that or she's going to be one of those people, kind of like Braun or Tiffany was, where they get called up on the build to WrestleMania, which I don't really understand. I would just save them for the night after WrestleMania, but
Because
to
they didn't
eat.
really do anything with any of them
Literally,
when
they
they
just like
put 'em up.
randomly, yeah, they did it with Roxanne this year. Like they just start randomly showing them on SmackDown or Raw. Like, dude, save the debut as like a post Mania surprise. I mean, like, what? That just seems like a no brainer.
Modern wrestling is kind of losing is just a hard moment of a heel turn, a face turn, a call up. They try to do it so like slow and easy nowadays. It's so annoying for
Yeah,
all those things.
it's like they ease into it to maybe like see what like other people's reactions would be.
Just do it, and if people don't like it, you work around that. It's what you always did. It's what always worked.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, most of wrestling is sink or swim. You gotta throw them in the pool, and that stuff like that is no different for me.
Yeah, or like we even seen them kind of do it with like Dragonoff, or like I think they did it with Indy Hartwell too. It's like they bring them up the night after Mania, they get this huge reaction, and then they're off TV for a month until the draft. Like, dude, what?
Or
Just bring them up.
they're like still like what they were doing with Roxanne is how like she was still like halfway in
Yeah,
NXT competing for that title, even though she just lost it, got called up, but she's still like going down there to try. It's like, dude, you just do it, just commit. They're
yeah,
afraid of commitment.
they really are, bro. They really are. But yeah. So moving on here, we got some news on Roman Reigns. So
See?
according to PW Insider, Roman Reigns is slated to work 4 weeks on the set of Street Fighter next month. If things run as normal, Reigns would start on September 2nd and would finish his commitments the week of September 26th. With that being said, according to WrestleVotes, he is scheduled for Clash in Paris as that happens at the end of this month, August 31st. So, whatever he's doing there, I'm assuming he'll probably lose and then go to film Street Fighter. And then with that, it looks like his match at Clash in Paris will not be against Seth Rollins because, according to WrestleVotes, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins is being saved for a future pay-per-view. Uh
I swear to dude, it's not. It's too late to do that at Mania. We literally just seen a version of that 4 months ago at WrestleMania, dude. I don't want to see that at WrestleMania again. First of all, I saw some people saying they want Seth to hold this title for a long time. I don't want to see that in the slightest. That it sounds dreadful. And I don't want to see Roman face him for it or beat him for it. I really don't. I want new people facing for that title. I want fresh people facing for this title.
I I would not see Roman. I would not mind seeing Roman Reigns face him for the belt, but
If it's like a rumble, I'm cool with it. Or like a something like that, but like, dude, I don't want that for WrestleMania. It's so
no,
overplayed.
dude,
It's so overplayed.
it's like again, I wouldn't mind seeing him fight him for it, but Roman should not be the guy to dethrone Rollins for that championship. Under no circumstances should Roman Reigns be the guy to. Now again, I brought up the idea Monday of Perth. Do it at Perth, Crown Jewel in October. They're gonna. I think they're gonna be in a pretty big stadium. And that can easily be a marquee match on the show, easily, no question. But Mania? You mean to tell me
Yes.
you built a story with him cashing in on CM Punk and him basically doing what Randy Orton did to Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania or at SummerSlam 2013, and then have Bryan get his lick back at WrestleMania. So you mean to tell me you're gonna do Punk like that, ultimately for Punk to not even end up winning the belt back from Rollins?
Also, wouldn't be shocked if they run back the triple threat for
Bro,
the
do
title
not
this
even
time,
fucking say that.
knowing
Do
Triple H.
not even say, bro,
Dude, it's
because
Triple H.
I was thinking that shit. I was thinking to bro,
Yep.
I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe if they didn't do a triple threat this year, it could have worked next year for the World Heavyweight Championship, but they already fucking did it this year. So, like, what? To me, with what you did at SummerSlam, you basically have to have CM Punk win that championship from Rollins. You pretty much have to. If you ask me now,
Dude,
I would not be against the idea of maybe Punk takes it at Perth and then we get Rollins and Roman at Mania in a one-on-one if WWE really wanted to fucking do that. Now again, I would much rather have Roman Reigns face Braun Breaker one-on-one at WrestleMania. I think that's just the better match. I think that is the more I think that is the more of the match that is going to benefit your future. But I don't know. To me, Roman and Rollins, like, yeah, there's a good story there, bro. But a Mania World Title match, I think we just should be focusing on the future more. I really think we should. I think we should be I think we should be occupying Roman Reigns' last couple Manias full time with people from, to represent the future. And then again, CM Punk's, again, you could say what you want about how much, nobody wants to see the story go on for 8 months. CM Punk finally winning the World Heavyweight Champion, or finally holding the World Heavyweight Championship and beating Seth Rollins, that's a Mania moment. It is. Like
yeah.
Punk winning the title back from Seth Rollins, who did him dirty at SummerSlam, is a Mania moment. And again, I would just much rather occupy Roman Reigns' time. If we got two Manias with Roman, Breaker, Fatu.
It's very simple. And like you said, however much I am not a fan of seeing for the next 7 months, Punk and Seth, I would much rather see that than Seth and Roman. And I think the payoff for Punk is the whole purpose of what you did at SummerSlam. And now that you did that on SummerSlam, you have to have Punk beat him at WrestleMania for that title. And he has to put as long as I'm alive, you can't be champ. He has to put that to bed at WrestleMania because that's
Yes.
what you set up. And that's a
Yes.
good story. That's a good storybook ending for Punk at Mania getting his real world title run finally after all these years. That's perfect. I don't want to see him and Roman again. We've seen it
Mm-mm.
a billion times in the last fucking 10 years, dude. From it's gonna be, I created you because I turned on you. I created a monster. I gotta kill that monster. And Roman's like, you became the monster that I was. It's it's something we've seen a fucking million times before. And if I'm gonna see anything I've seen before, it'd rather be Punk and Seth than Roman and Seth. Because I want Roman, like you said, against future people. Braun. Bronson, Jacob Fatu, fucking. I'd rather take a fucking Jey Uso match with Roman other than a Seth Rollins match with Roman Reigns, genuinely, because like they're so interconnected at this point. It's tiring that they're so interconnected, man. So I really hope they don't do that at Mania, but dude. I really wouldn't be shocked if
Uh,
they run back the triple threat.
I I fucking
I'm
hate that
putting
you
that
said
card on
that
the
because I fucking
table.
thought that shit too. But then
I'm
I was like, you know what? I was like, no, there's no way. But when you mentioned it, I was like, okay, I'm not fucking crazy.
No, it's the most Triple H thing to do, dude. He loves like running back stories a year later, but like a different flipped sense of it. I really wouldn't be shocked if they run back the triple threat, but this time with the title. I really wouldn't be shocked.
But bro, the story is simple.
It's
Rollins
simple.
rules with the iron fist. He goes in against Punk, all the confidence in the world, because Punk is an old man. He can't do it. He's washed up, whatever, whatever Rollins says. He loses to Punk. Meanwhile, Breaker beats Roman. Then Rollins gets
Breaker gets
pissed, but
mm-hmm.
Breaker has this confidence because he beat Roman Reigns, and it implodes on Seth the same way the bloodline imploded on Roman. Then maybe we can talk about a Rollins and Reigns match at like SummerSlam next year. You know what I mean? And then you can culminate that story because, Rollins is, he's getting his ass whooped by his group and now he feels this is all Roman Reigns' fault and maybe he's a little salty that it imploded the same way the bloodline imploded on Roman. Maybe something like that. Because it is a good story to tell, man. With the Rollins becoming what Roman Reigns was, and everything that he hated. It's a good story to tell. It's just for me, again, you as far as the world title is concerned, bro, you committed Punk to that. You cannot have CM Punk. You cannot have what happened to CM Punk happen at SummerSlam and he does not end up getting the world championship out of that.
No, exactly.
Which in saying
And that's
that,
perfect.
whatever you did for
Mhm.
Sami Zayn's probably out the fucking window, unless they have him go up against like Cody or McIntyre at Mania. But I honestly don't even know how much I see that at this point.
I really don't. A lot of people still think Drew is gonna like beat Cody for that title. I think Cody is gonna beat Drew when
Well,
Drew tries to challenge him. Hmm.
if we know what we know about where WrestleMania 43 might be, I think we may have to wait another year for Sami Zayn to win the
Oh,
world title because it will be in
yeah,
you know where. So,
exactly, dude. Exactly. That's I think the original plan was Sammy this year, which if you are taking Sammy's plan this year out of the way to have him, well, technically next year, but you know what I mean. Win Rumble, go on to Mania. You need to slow it down with Sammy constantly talking about winning a world title because if it's not about to happen and next year Mania, you seriously have to slow him down of mentioning him that every week, because it's just going to be people asking, well, why the fuck ain't he doing it yet? You know what I mean?
mm,
So you really do have to slow that down if that's the case, and I feel like it is the case. I think he was going to be the plan overall to win the Rumble and go on. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think they're going to save it for well. I think not only is KO a factor in them moving that, but I think, the plans of 2027 come into play too.
yes. So, that is that. And now we got some news on 2 night premium live events for WWE. As according to Andrew Baydala, he put out a tweet a couple days ago saying following the success of SummerSlam in New Jersey this past weekend, the discussion of hosting more two-night events has been intensified with WWE/TKO. With an earlier start and finish time, impressive revenue, and attendance numbers, it is clear that the two-night format resonated with fans. TKO/WWE appears to be capitalizing on the success, and there are plans already underway to introduce more two-night premium live events in 2026 and 2027 being the target. 2026 Survivor Series and the Royal Rumble in 2027 are at the top of the list, but it looks like Money in the Bank also might be in the mix for this format.
Literally all the ones we said.
Yep. Their big
That
five
sounds
will
god
all be
awful.
2 nights, which, if they're anything like SummerSlam, you better be very scared, because WWE made a pretty nice case for themselves at SummerSlam that it should not have been moved to night 2. Not by me, by some of their audience. I would say overall I think it's the right move for SummerSlam.
Okay.
I didn't say nothing about a Royal Rumble. I didn't say nothing about Survivor Series, and I certainly didn't say anything about Money in the Bank.
That sounds god awful, dude. I'm being real, dude. That sounds miserable. All those pay-per-views being 2 nights, because the whole point of the pay-per-views for those ones are the special match on the show. And you get the men's, you get the women's, and you get like 2 or 3 matches in between. It's nice, it's simple, it's digestible. I don't want to watch fucking 4-0 matches before the Royal Rumble, and then watch 4 more 0 matches before the next Royal Rumble the next night. That sounds miserable. I'm sorry.
100%. 100%. Yeah. Uh I'm okay with it for SummerSlam, because I like SummerSlam being treated like a WrestleMania of the summer. So, SummerSlam is a big enough show where you should want to get all your names on there for it to be 2 nights. Survivor Series, Rumble, Money in the Bank. Don't be fucking surprised if Elimination Chamber ends up getting added to that. Anything that pretty much has 2 stipulation matches between the men and the women, you could pretty much look at that as like, the
They're
the
gonna look at it.
they're gonna look at it for being 2 nights, 100%. That sounds absolutely awful to me, but it looks like they're aiming for 2027 with a possible Survivor Series 2026 being added. Hopefully not. But yeah, like I said, it looks like the main target is 2027. And again, man, that just sounds absolutely awful. That sounds absolutely awful. And that just sounds like content overkill. A lot of it. And I really hope they don't end up going down that road, man. Because I think if your fans are feeling fatigued now, how the fuck do you think they're going to feel when 5 pay-per-views a year are 2 nights?
Gonna be if they ever do that all in one year, that'll be probably the roughest year of WWE television we'll ever watch.
My
And I
God.
don't think and I don't think they would ever do that again afterwards, because I don't think, knowing WWE, it won't take them until they actually do it to realize how exhausting and overdone that'll be.
Yep.
So I really wouldn't be shocked if they at least add like 2 more of those to be 2 nights one year, and then they probably realize like, damn, this is kind of doing way too much. It'll eventually happen. You know it. And I think they're gonna learn their lesson then, and that is gonna be a fucking rough year to watch. I'm gonna tell you that.
Yeah, it 100% will, man. And Triple H has even gone out and said before he doesn't want all the shows to be 2 nights because it's harder to book. So
Yeah.
uh, man, I don't know. And what makes this even weirder is the next story we have is our last piece of WWE news. for the day. According to Uncle Dave, there is reportedly talk of having 2 WrestleManias in 1 year. Yes. There is reportedly talk of having 2 WrestleManias in 1 year, with one taking place in Saudi Arabia. Those in Saudi reportedly believe that Mania will take place in the country in 2027. And they are pushing for The Rock to headline the show.
It's gonna be so. You know what sucks about that too? That's
Enlighten me.
obviously we were mentioning it. That's that's where Sammy is gonna get his WrestleMania main event.
Mhm.
But is that really a WrestleMania main event? You know what I mean? It's like the greatest Royal Rumble.
Yes.
Like when they did that, like, did
Like,
you
you're not a
really
Royal
win the
Rumble
Royal
winner.
Rumble? Exactly. Like you're gonna do this second Mania, but it's not gonna count. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
gonna say it's count in numbers wise. They're gonna count it as this person main evented, but it's not. You're not main eventing WrestleMania. That's not a WrestleMania. You're just calling it WrestleMania. It's gonna be so lame, dude.
It is essentially going to have your WrestleMania is going to. I'm assuming because we heard a couple weeks ago that they want to do Super WrestleMania. I'm assuming that's what this is going to be. I'm assuming they're going to do WrestleMania and then Super WrestleMania. At this point, bro, just do a Saudi and Wrestle. Just do a WrestleMania in Saudi.
Do a normal
It,
one in Saudi.
ju-
You'll be fine.
ju- ju- just do a WrestleMania in Saudi. Do not have 2 fucking WrestleManias in 1 year. That is about the dumbest shit I have ever 2 WrestleMania. That would fucking be like the NFL. Would the NFL ever have 2 Super Bowls?
Oh, like, are you ever like you're never doing? Are you? Is there going to be 2 NBA champions in 1 year? No, that's not
What?
how things work. You do the big thing once a year. You do the big thing the next year. That's how it always should work for everything ever. Yeah. It's so stupid, dude. It's so fucking stupid. And like you said, just do the normal WrestleMania at Saudi. Just do that. That'll be better. That'll be better because your main factors in Punk, Sami Zayn, and the women can all be at the show. That was your only deterrence for those. And now that all those things, all those people can be there, just do a Mania in Saudi and call it a day and get it over with. A normal one.
Like Logan says, like, look, a WrestleMania Night 1 main event. You main evented
Okay.
WrestleMania. You main evented one of the nights of the show. You're a Mania main eventer. You mean to tell me
Like,
in 1 year we're gonna get 4 WrestleMania main events?
such a cop out, dude. Like you're not
What?
like like you're not you didn't main event WrestleMania. I'm sorry.
No.
Sami Zayn, he's gonna be in that main event and he should main event a WrestleMania, but he's not gonna main event a WrestleMania because that's not WrestleMania. It's not. You're not a Mania main eventer. Oh, that's gonna be so because they're just gonna constantly rub it in the face of this person is a Russ and they're not, dude. They're not.
I mean, if WWE wanted to do something that I guess is a call on, the earlier days of WrestleMania, I could see them maybe do it, or if they really wanted to just do, if they really wanted to have it in Saudi but didn't want to fully commit, I could see them doing like one night in Saudi and then another night somewhere in the US. That would be better than 2 Manias, but even at that, bro, just do the WrestleMania in fucking Saudi and get it over with.
That's my consensus at point. Just do it in Saudi, get it over with, and do something else next year. That it's literally the simplest solution ever. I wouldn't be shocked with the 2 night thing. Um, and I'm very curious if the second Miss WrestleMania would also be 2 nights because, like you said, 4 WrestleMania main eventers, depending on how many people are in said matches, you could have upwards of like 6 in 1 year. That's just stupid,
Got
dude. I'm
8 Mania
sorry.
main eventers, and that's all assuming that they're singles matches.
One-on-ones. Yeah, exactly. If you have any of them are like triple threat or a fatal four-way, you have like damn near a dozen
Yeah, Ro-
WrestleMania main
Ro-
eventers in one.
Roman Roman Reigns is gonna have like fucking 22 WrestleMania main events by the time his career's over.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be the ultimate stat pat. They would do that with Roman so hard. He's up to 17 of them now. I'm like, all right, bro.
Golly,
All
he's
right,
main evented
get me.
WrestleMania 34 times across his career. Like Jesus. Um, they also say they want The Rock. I would assume maybe this is where we get that Rock and Roman match. Maybe we get Rock and Cody. If there's enough money involved, this is the only that would be the only chance we have of Rock coming back anyway. I mean, we all know how he rolls. That's the only reason he was in Philadelphia for Mania 40 because there was money involved. So I mean, this is the best chance we have for the Rock. If anybody wants to see the final boss, this is the best chance you got. Is Saudi Arabia
Genuinely.
coughing up enough money to the guy for him to come back and
I, I
with
I
Cody or
do see the
Roman.
Rock. I do see the Rock appearance happening at that one because, like you said, it's Saudi. They got Saudi money, and that's if we're ever seeing that man in the ring again, it's Saudi WrestleMania. It's Super WrestleMania, whatever the fuck they're gonna call it.
Super
Good.
WrestleMania.
I'm very curious to the time slot they're looking for. Like, is it going to be their normal like October Saudi show, or like when is this pay-per-view in the year going to take place? Because if it's like 4 months after WrestleMania, that's going to be even worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm very curious because that's going to be also going to be a really another dumb factor. Like, what if we get SummerSlam and then a few weeks later we get Super WrestleMania? Like,
I
oh, it's gonna be so
I I
stupid.
I'm excited for the promos. I cannot wait
Oh, it's gonna be
to hear
hilarious.
somebody talking about me and you this Saturday at Super WrestleMania. Like, what?
Oh, we're gonna hear fucking triple dork on those fucking, we
WrestleMania
love
Super.
WrestleMania. We're we're gonna go it and make it super. And
What?
dude, it's
What?
gonna be so stupid, dude. It's gonna be great. Genuinely, that's probably gonna be the best part. Is about how much they're gonna fucking try to prop it up and then
Drive that
fucking make
in,
it.
yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
this is Super WrestleMania.
If you thought Mania in April was good, this one's gonna be
Yep.
super. Huh?
I'm shutting the TV off, bro. Turn the TV off. Cause get the fuck out of here.
Well, yeah, so 2 WrestleManias in 1 year. And it looks like 2027 is going to be our year. We are going to be on here with 4 WrestleMania reviews in 1 year. Good God. Um,
Really, that's the first year I see a lot of those other pay-per-views being 2 nights too. Dude, I think 2027 is gonna be a rough fucking year for WWE.
I really think so, dude. However, that is all our news for WWE. And with that being said, we do have an official word from our sponsor here at NHP, W Energy. W is an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics formulated to improve focus without getting the jitters. W is a clean formula that is sugar free, 0 calorie, free from fillers and artificial colorings with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. You can get your W products today with the link below and code NHP at checkout to save yourselves 10% on your next W purchase.
Truly, always got to shout out W, whether work, workout, whatever you may need the energy for. 2027. If you guys want to stock up for for right now for 2027, it's gonna be a rough, long, tiring year if you're a WWE fan. If you want to have the energy, you want to not have the jitters, and you want it all to taste good at the same time, get W. Try W. It won't let you down.
There you go, man. So, as always, shout out and thank you to the great people over at W, the official sponsor of what we do here at Notorious Heels. With that being said, man, AEW we got news on Forbidden Door.
Favorite. Can't believe they got us to fucking review this fucking show.
Damn.
They fucking got us, dude. These fuckers. Fucking Tony Khan.
They're going to do the Darby and Mox match there, too. All right, Tony.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
know.
Getting in
They,
your
they
bag.
know what they're doing.
Getting in your
They know what
bag.
they're doing.
Okay. You motherfucker. Um, so, according to the Wrestling Observer, AEW Forbidden Door is already the third largest non WWE gate in history, as tickets have sold impressively well. This is
Man,
good. This is
that
good,
is
man.
good.
I'm happy for
That is
them. And
good.
actually, they're putting together a pretty good card. I wouldn't even doubt if we end up getting Hangman and MJF in the main event to that show. That's kind of what they're building to. I mean, it would make sense for Tanahashi. It's his last year, but like they're not even building to that like at all.
Mention of really anything, of literally anything Forbidden Door. So I wouldn't be shocked if we get MJF versus Hangman, which that sounds good. This actually looks they're actually building like an incredible fucking card to this fucking show. Motherfucker. Um, I'm actually excited for Forbidden Door. I'm very pumped to see how it goes. I'm glad their numbers are doing good. I hope they continue to do better, man. Really, the big detriment for AEW is just improving that week-to-week television. That's where their biggest fall off is. And if they improve that, then it's going to be a much better time to watch the show and a much better lead in to what these great pay-per-view cards are. So I'm glad their numbers are doing good. I'm glad that's doing good. I just think they need to improve television, and then they're a lot better than they were about a year or two ago.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, with that, Buddy Matthews took to Instagram to reveal he is, and I quote, heading into surgery to repair my ankle.
Why? He's got to repair that ankle. Wonder what did it to him. Was it a shit ring that did it to him?
Dog. Grand Slam Australia. Didn't that happen in March or
Yep.
February? It's
And,
been
and they're
6 months.
just repairing it now.
Oh, it took 6 months to figure out that, like, what, physical therapy wasn't working, or 6 months
From
is kind of wild, bro. Cannot lie.
the, from the understanding I always got from AEW medical compared to WWE medical is AEW medical. Like everyone says, in AEW they don't pay for their medical, but they are the ones that have to set it up. They're the ones that make the appointment, that do the appointment to appointment calls and all that shit. WWE, I always heard was the reverse. They set it all up for you. Some people I'm sure don't have to pay anything, but I think for a lot of them you do, especially if you're one of those smaller on the card guys. Um, if I was a wrestler and I'm making good money, I'd rather the company just fucking quick pace set up everything for me so I could be back as quick as possible. Why are you making these individuals make these appointments and shit themselves? What is going on? Do you not have a part of the company? Is a part of your medical to your company? Is there not a part dedicated to figuring out appointments and whatnot and surgeries, appointments, checkups, all that for your people? Should that not be a part of your medical team?
That should be fucking number
Like number
one.
one.
Like when Cody
Like
tore his pec, they were so on that shit. It wasn't even like this dude had gotten surgery like a couple days after the swelling went down. You know what I mean? Like God, who else has gotten injured? Bianca Belair. She wasn't sitting around with a broken fucking finger for 6 months before they decided to do anything about it. Like, dude, this guy's just been hanging out for 6 months with and he's just now getting
Nope.
surgery?
Just kind of limp to the fucking fridge every night for 6 months for what? What takes so long with AEW, dude? I don't get it. Like, dude, you're a company. And the reason, WWE's process so fast, because it's a company. They have a company having these appointments be made and
Mhm.
whatnot. That's what fast tracks it. Because I've been through a lot of medical process. You are, as an individual person, they don't give a shit about. They'll take as long as they measly have the time for. Unless you're a company that's telling these people, speed it up. In AEW, you got to tell the medical for your people to speed it up because that's kind of your whole point of your medical.
Good lord. Well, regardless, um I hope Buddy Matthews, I hope the surgery went well. And I hope he's back in no time. I hope he does not get 6 months of injury time on his contract. He probably will. But that is absolutely ridiculous. 6 months this dude sat around and he's just now getting surgery. That is that is very unfortunate. That is very unfortunate to hear, and hope the surgery went well, and I cannot wait to see him back. And my God, AEW Medical, get it together.
Please get it together, dog. Holy hell.
So, with that being said, we have some stories on the Hurt Syndicate. Very interesting stories going on here. As
Very.
according to Fightful, well, this is coming off of I guess some people in the locker room, as there is a claim being made that MVP rubs a lot of people the wrong way in AEW, resulting in heat. He said they go on to say that this is something that has been echoed by a number of talent for the last couple of months. It is also well known that MVP dislikes Speedball Mike Bailey. A number of Well, yeah, what? A number of talent say MVP made that clear. And that he did not want the Hurt Syndicate losing to Jet Speed. But no word on if Hurt Syndicate losing to Jet Speed was ever in the cards. Nobody spoken to knew the specific reason for MVP's dislike of Speedball Mike Bailey. It's with that being said that the claim internally is that internally in AEW, was that the Hurt Syndicate said no to pitches of losing to FTR at All In and Forbidden Door. Instead, MVP had stated that the team preferred losing to younger AEW teams or talent. MVP's personal preferences were the Gates of Agony, the Outrunners, or Private Party. Also,
I'm mhm.
go ahead.
Why is it a bad thing to want to lose to younger guys and not already set established guys? Like, why would that be a bad, like,
Bro,
what a bunch of assholes. They don't want to lose to Hulk Hogan. They would rather lose to Jeff Hardy. Like, that's logic you're throwing at me right now. Why are you mad at that? That is good. That is actually a very good thing. And the speedball beef is just fucking hilarious,
that
dude.
is
Because
so random.
Because, like, why are you mad at the dorky karate guy? Why do you hate him? He's anytime I see him out of the ring, he's just like the most normal, dorkiest, just karate guy you could meet. And MVP
Uh,
just hates him for some reason, I guess. Which is also funny. Because did you see they posted a
yeah,
video of like the Hurt Syndicate fucking with him?
yeah,
So like, is that
they
real or is
they were doing, yeah, they did like a video, and MVP walked up to me. He's like, "I hate you, Speedball." And he's like, "Fuck you." And Speedball's like, "Well, fuck you too, MVP." And then the other guys like look at him and they walk away, and he's like, "Well, fuck the whole group, I guess." So like, I don't even know if that's real. I don't even know where that came from. So, anyways, there were hints that MJF and the Hurt Syndicate were originally scheduled to last longer. There isn't any heat between MJF and the Hurt Syndicate, and more specifically, MJF and the Hurt Syndicate have no issues behind the scene. Um, there has been no word on anything regarding any element of the Hurt Syndicate leaving AEW. Bobby, Shelton, and MVP all have multi-year deals with multiple years left on said deals. So we then got this story today from Uncle Dave that MJF being split from the Hurt Syndicate was reportedly a request from MVP. Was reportedly not a request from MVP, but rather another member of the group. It was originally planned to last much longer. So, according to the Observer as well, as of right now, the plan is for FTR to become tag team champions. Last we heard, the belts may get to FTR and are supposed to, but they made some sort of deal and not just have it done clean, but in a regular match with other ideas being talked about. So, okay, so Uncle Dave is saying that FTR is still planned to become the champions, and that another member of the Hurt Syndicate asked for MJF to be out of the group. Now, we're also hearing they don't have any heat. What I'm thinking is they want MJF to screw the Hurt Syndicate out of the tag titles? Maybe?
that was kind of always my assumption, is that was eventually the end game of him scrolling them out of those tag titles for whoever was facing them. So I assume that was always the end game here. I didn't see this group lasting forever, like they say that was the plan. It's definitely ending even more abruptly than I thought it would, but I thought it would kind of slowly more unfold into unless and literally just did it in 2 weeks and he's fucking out the group, I guess. Um, it's weird, dude. I don't know what's going on with this. Maybe it's just one of them just not just working well with MJF and wanting something else. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's that. Obviously, it's not MVP. It's very obvious that him and MJF are actually pretty good, like, buddies. I have no clue. I have no clue what the fuck any of this means, dude. What is the drama here?
I couldn't fucking tell you either, bro. I really don't understand. I don't know. It really seems like there's a lack of creative vision there, because I don't know why you wouldn't keep MJF in the group. Continue to have him, you know, bug these guys about helping him win the world championship. And then at Forbidden Door with the tag match against FTR, maybe the week before, maybe then you have, them tell him, "Look, we're not helping you win shit." But keep him in the group, and then at Forbidden Door have MJF screw them out of the tag titles, and then have the reason for the breakup be, "You're not going to help me win my title, and we're supposed to be doing business, then fuck you." And now I'm going to be the reason you lose your titles. Doesn't that make more sense than whatever the fuck they're doing now?
Exactly. I don't get the direction they're taking it now. I really don't. feel like it's more of a Tony Khan thing than anything of him not knowing what the fuck to do with this group and this pairing, which it's very obvious,
It's
like you
simple.
just said, to do that. It's not, you brought back dickhead heel MJF. That is the most dickhead heel MJF thing to do. You're not gonna help me, so I'm gonna screw you over.
Yes.
It's the simplest thing ever. Why would you not do that?
Maybe the Hurt Syndicate didn't want it to happen that way because maybe they felt it would make their characters look stupid because, like, why would they keep him around then? Which, I mean, but then again, you have the out of MVP insisted on keeping him in the group because this is his buddy. He likes him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So I don't
exactly.
understand why nobody would have looked stupid here. And like as far as them lobbying not to lose, that's not always a bad thing because it literally said they just did not want to lose to an established team. They wanted to lose to a young team. They wanted to put people over. That doesn't mean they're going around hoganing it up. That means they're actually doing the opposite. They wanted to lose to young guys. That what people are saying here is that they're refusing to lose. That's not refusing to lose. That is protecting their character and saving their first loss for somebody that can actually benefit from it.
Exactly. That's a good thing. That's what you want from people is to have that mentality of I just don't want to fucking lose to Roman Reigns every week. I want to lose to someone that could actually use the win for the future, man. That is a good fucking thing.
It's like look at like when Brock Lesnar lost to Goldberg. Like Brock Lesnar went undefeated for all these years from beating Undertaker for like 2 years. The guy was like unbeaten and you have him lose to fucking Goldberg, a guy who's already a legend in the business. Like why not give that to a young guy that can use that momentum of beating Brock? You know what I mean? It's the same logic here. Like to me, it just seems like they're protecting their character. And again, if this is the way that, and if AEW goes about this in a really shitty way, then fuck me, I guess. I guess we can't have anything nice in AEW because what the fuck is that?
Literally, like what the hell?
They do them like that, bro. But like I don't know. To me, this just sounds like a bunch of bullshit. There was also reports that talent were upset. Me and you were talking about it yesterday, but like talent were upset with them being presented as heels, but like, but like, dapping up the fans and high fiving people after their victory. Like, yes, they are heels, but like they also are like they're cool heels that are they're just badasses. Like they're not dastardly heels. They say it all the time, bro. It's just business. Like this is their character. This is what makes them cool. And yes, they are presented as heels because they will legitimately kick your ass. But at the end of the day, they're not every heel has to fucking despise the audience.
Look at Braun Breaker. Every week, yeah, he's calling the fans fat asses, but everyone's barking with the guy and they love him
And he
because it's
acknowledges
cool
that they
and he
do
knows
it.
exactly, because it's cool. Same with the hurt business. You got guys that are badass. They don't take nothing personally, in terms of like their characters. It's like like their name implies, it's just business. They want to win the titles because they want to be champions, and it's great. And they're fucking badass. They have a cool theme song that you could sing. Of course, people are gonna sing, and they're the type of characters to want to be liked by the fans because they know they're cool, so they embrace it. That's one of the best, coolest parts about them.
I I don't understand. To me, this really all sounds like a non-issue. And I really hope AEW, if there is any sort of problems, I really hope they do handle it and get that squashed rather soon because this is a really a act I do not want to see fade away in AEW, man, because of stupid backstage shit. So I don't know if anybody has a problem with these guys, man. I really hope that they check themselves because it really is not that big of a deal what is being told to us here. But I got no problem with the Hurt Syndicate. And I don't think anything listed here is a bad thing. Minus a simple creative, maybe a bit of a lack of a creative vision for how they wanted to break it up. Other than that, though, in terms of politics backstage or what's being said to be a backstage politic, I don't see it as that at all. I see it as they're protecting their characters for the right time and the right people.
Exactly, dude. And they're trying to prop up young, guys that haven't got that prop up in AEW yet for the future AEW. This is exactly the type of people you want in your company.
Yeah, and again, if these guys did want to lose to, or if these guys did not want to lose to an FTR, then that's something you got to work out with them. And there is an easy way to work it out. So, I don't know. I mean, again, if they want to drop the titles of the young guys so much, then I don't know, you could have had them drop the titles to a young team like Jet Speed at All In, and then Jet Speed could have dropped it to FTR. I mean, it's I don't understand. I don't understand why Tony does not get on the same page with his people with stuff like this, man. It's so easily avoidable.
So fucking easily avoidable. Organization, whether it's actual on the roster or backstage creative organization, is one of the simplest but most important things to get right. He never gets it right.
I don't get it. I
I
don't
don't
get it.
understand.
So yeah, that is the news on the Hurt Syndicate and all their backstage heat in AEW for Lord only knows why MVP has so much heat. And as for the speedball stuff, I don't believe that. I'm sorry.
That is just, that is
That is
just
so random.
hilariously like,
Like,
what?
like
You just, yeah, I fucking hate you, fucking happy karate guy. Like, where does that hate come from, dude? That's hilarious.
it's
It's the most random beef ever.
it really is. I mean, they're acting like Speedball was out there fucking sandbagging Bobby Lashley. Like, no, he sold great for them. The Hurt Syndicate beat the shit out of those guys like every single week. So like, what is the beef, bro? What is the beef?
I don't get it.
But yeah, so that is everything, man, for this episode of the news. It's been episode 278, man. Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today. And yeah, thank you to everybody in chat. Happy belated birthday to Durante. Again, man, Logan, Durante, thank you guys so very much for joining us here today in the live chat, man. And thank you guys, as always, everybody here live and in the Replay Mafia, my guys, JT and JB. And it has been always a pleasure for my Johnny.
It's okay.
And that will do it for this edition of the news. This has been episode 278. Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today. And with all of that, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you all tomorrow morning, 12 p.m. Central, for NHP Gaming Call of Duty Black Ops 6 The Reckoning.
Peace.